Welcome into Ricky's Mailbag. This is where I take your questions and I answer them to the best of my ability about the Phillies. Okay, I want you to like and subscribe over here. Also, you can catch myself, Savannah Kelleher, and Bill Calarula on Unfiltered. That's 2 to 6, Monday through Friday, every weekday. Remember that, 2 to 6, Monday through Friday, on 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com, and NBC Sports Philadelphia. I'm here with Dylan McKinnon. He's going to read out the questions. I'm going to try to answer them. Let's go, Dill.
This one is from Will on Twitter. Are you concerned about Zack Wheeler? What about Ranger Suarez?
Okay. I am, you got to be a little bit concerned about Zack Wheeler. And I think it starts all the way back at the All-Star game when he didn't want to pitch in his hometown, remember. He's from just outside of Atlanta. That game was in Atlanta, and he didn't want to go down and pitch. That, to me, started some bells and whistles going off. When you looked at him, especially in the Yankee game, he couldn't throw a sweeper over the plate. As a matter of fact, he was throwing it way off the plate. I believe he hit 3 batters in that game. That's very unlike him, too. The one thing Wheeler does pride himself on is being able to hit his spots. And in his last 3 starts, I wouldn't say he's exactly been right on point. I think, obviously, when your shoulder's a little sore or when your shoulder's a little bit fatigued, you're going to lose your location. So I will say this much. I think for Zack Wheeler, the dip in velocity is an issue, but I think even more importantly, the location is becoming more and more of a problem. Now, I could take that and say, okay, he's a little fatigued. What are they going to do with him? They give him an extra couple days off. I don't know if that's the complete answer here. I just think that it's going to be a wait and see type thing. Yes, you should be a little bit concerned, but give him this next start. Hopefully he comes off of the next start after an extra couple days and he feels okay. I think that's the one thing you're looking for. You go to Ranger Suarez. The one thing about Ranger is that he kind of has this issue every single year. If you remember last year, he was 10-1, and then all of a sudden he hit the same type of skid. I'm just not sure if he has the arm that wants to go 6 months out of the year or 32 starts. I just don't think he's the type of guy that you want him to do that. And on top of that, he missed the first month plus of the season. So why is he dipping in velocity? I'm not really sure, because it shouldn't be from fatigue. And the other thing is, I mean, he's leaving his off speed, his secondary pitches out over the middle of the plate. He gave up a big 3-run homer against Baltimore on Wednesday afternoon, and that to me was a little bit confusing, because usually he's really on point with those pitches and throwing them where he wants to, and now all of a sudden he's a bit all over the place. I would say I'm a little concerned with just about everybody except for Christopher Sanchez. I think Sanchez has been the guy that's been consistent. So for Ranger, yeah, there is a little bit concerned, because it's something that historically has happened with him almost every single year. And with Wheeler, he's not getting any younger. So he's not a spring chicken anymore. And you wonder what his workload could handle. And I just want to throw this in there. Rob Thompson had an interview after, I believe, Wednesday's game, or maybe before Wednesday's game. He talked about his starting rotation and how he doesn't like them to go complete games. And that may have been one of the reasons why he didn't let Christopher Sanchez go when he had 84 pitches through 8 innings. I think right now Rob's a little worried, and he's not letting us know about it. But the way he's talking and his answers right now, I think he's a bit worried about everybody.
Okay, this one is from Scott on Twitter. What frustrates you the most with this next generation of Flyers?
Um, it's just a different game. In all honesty, I think, let me put it this way. First and foremost, pitching now, the strike zone is huge. When I pitched, it was literally the waist to the top of the knees. If you were throwing it up, belly button high or a little bit above, those were all balls. They didn't call those strikes. So I think that gets a little annoying that everything changed in that manner. But I think this whole body armor thing bothers me. I know it sounds ridiculous. I know certain guys wore it at times, but it's almost everybody. And I think it's the oven mitts that really get me. Because first and foremost, there's a lot of bang-bang plays, sliding into bases, and they all slide with the oven mitts first now. So when you really think about it, are their fingers actually touching or are the oven mitts touching? Because if it was me running the bases, I'd make sure those oven mitts were 4 inches longer, so I could just slide into the bag and the oven mitts touch and I'm safe. I think that's a bit of a problem. Um, the other thing is, I mean, the batting averages around baseball are just low to me. I just don't think there's that many hitters that are trying to backspin the baseball. I think they're trying to back leg the baseball a lot more, which means trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark a lot. And I think there's just too many strikeouts in the game. I think you put the ball in play, and that's something you learned since you were in Little League. You put the ball in play, and you have an opportunity. You don't put the ball in play, there is no opportunity to get on base. So I guess there's a bunch of little things that bother me, but for the most part, I just think it's kind of simplistic things.
Okay, this one is from Living Soul on Instagram. Can we please just see Harrison Bader in left or center every day?
I kind of agree with you. I know Max Kepler had the one good game, but I mean his sample size is big. I mean he's been here since the beginning of the year. He's been a platoon guy since the beginning of the year, and he's hitting what 204 right now. That is not exactly a run producer out in left field. Here's what I would do, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. I would take Harrison Bader, which he hits righties better than he does lefties anyways. I'd put him in center field every day. I would take Brandon Marsh because Brandon Marsh has actually been swinging the bat well and he can play outfield. I would put him in left field and leave him out there. If I need a bat off the bench, okay, then I'll go fish for Kepler or something like that. But I think the only reason he may hit is if somebody comes up in the ninth inning and they're an injury or something like that. I would go strictly no more platoons out in the outfield. I think Marsh has really started to prove himself, and I think Bader could be a positive in center field each and every day. So I'm right there with you. No more platoons.
Okay, this one is from a lot of people across all social media platforms, so I had to make sure I asked it. People want to know, did T-Mac find his glasses?
Oh, that's funny. That is really funny because I was at the ballpark yesterday, and T-Mac went to get a drink, and he walked by me, and I said, "What's up, T-Mac?" He goes, "Can't find my glasses." So at this point, they were somewhere in the stadium. We know that. He said he lost them behind home plate. Somebody probably picked them up, and I said, "Did you check lost and found, T-Mac?" No, I didn't check lost and found. So yeah, T-Mac did not find his glasses yet. I offered him Michael Barkan's blue ones to see if he wanted those. He didn't say yes or no, but I would definitely take them off of Michael's face and give them to T-Mac and let T-Mac use them. I could imagine the tweets that would come out after that. But yeah, T-Mac did lose his glasses. He did not find them as of yet, and that was in the middle of the game on Wednesday. So I don't know if he found them after that, but he didn't have them at that point.
Okay, and then a final question. Jay Tapler on Instagram. In a hypothetical scenario where Duran pitched in 3 straight games in the playoffs to close a game, who are you going to in Game 4 to seal the game?
Oh, well, there probably would be a day off somewhere in there. So I don't think you would have that problem. If you're talking about a Game 4, you get 2 or 3 days off in between series. I think I'm probably going back to Duran. I think Kerkering could probably hold his weight in that situation, but I'm going to tell you right now, Rob Thompson is the type of guy that would not pitch Duran 4 days in a row. I think for sure what he would do is he would go back to situational Rob and basically use the rest of the bullpen in pieces. And what I mean by that, if there's a bunch of lefties coming up, 2 out of 3 lefties coming up in the inning, you're going to see Matt Strahm. If there's a bunch of righties coming up in the inning, I think Orion Kerkering would be the guy. But the one thing that could be a bonus here is David Robertson, if he ever figures himself out down in AAA. He's making a lot of money for a AAA player, by the way. If he can figure himself out and get himself to the big league level and pitch well for a month and a half, or whatever we got left in the season, I think he could be kind of an added bonus. I mean, the one thing you get from him is that he's been there, done it before. So he's been in the playoffs. He's not going to panic in a playoff situation. And he's 40 years old, for crying out loud. I don't think there's anything he hasn't seen on a baseball field. So I think the Phillies would have enough to finish out a Game 4 in a series. And if not, I mean, that means you won 3 games in a row. You're in pretty good shape anyways. I think you would have another pop at it. All right, there you have it for this week. That's Ricky's Mailbag. I want you to like and subscribe over here. Don't forget, you can catch me, Bill Colarulo, Silvana Keller on 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com, and NBC Sports Philadelphia on Unfiltered, Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. Thanks for watching Unfiltered on YouTube. You could like and subscribe down here. You could also see our other shows over here. Go ahead and watch them all. We love when you watch. The one thing, hey, you could also catch us on 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com, and NBC Sports Philadelphia. See you there.